Like, he sniped one of the depots there, but he can really snipe. Like, he can pretty much snipe all these depots, and that's going to really hurt.
Idle mutas.
Yeah, and they're just sitting there. I'm a little bit confused there, but did he see those? He did see him coming across, so he definitely knows something's coming. In the meantime, the mutas are going to go into the main. It's going to come down to voices. Can he crack this third base? If he can, he's going to put him very far ahead.
I think this Zergling Baneling force on its own may be enough to hold off Voices' push, as long as he gets him while he's on the creep and in a favourable position. Whereas if this push doesn't work for Voices, he loses just because of how much Deth is just supply captain.
Yeah, definitely. So like I was saying before, he needs to snipe all these supply depots, and then he goes and does it. Yeah. Just that good. Oh, nicely, gets in there, snipes a few of the tanks, but he loses a lot because Voices has spread out quite nicely. All the Marines at the front are getting taken out by these Banelings, so he's going to be cleaned up pretty well. Nicely done by Deth, splitting all his units up, not letting that Terran force be one big ball, and he's going to take a decisive lead here. This is why I don't like turtling Terrans, because the game's practically over now.
Yeah, that push for Voices was pretty much all in. He's down to 78 over 86. He lost round about 80 in supply depots just by those mutas pretty much being attack moved, just because he couldn't deal with them. And now he's got, what, 13 mutas, I believe that is, that are going to be able to steamroll over that base. They can just, kamikaze into a missile turret and not even lose one of them. But he decides to not really do much.
Throws down his third again. That's a good choice by Deth. He's also getting a fourth base. This is pretty much an exact repeat of Steps of War. Is it just me?
Yeah.
Or is it an exact repeat of that game?
Except Deth's is prevailing this time.
Yeah, definitely. He thwarted that attack. He's getting Hive now. Snipes a Medivac. Nice. Snipes it with the Medivac. With the Mutalisk, he's going to continue the harass here. There's nowhere near enough turrets around Voices' base to do this, to stop this kind of stuff. He's just going to snipe the one or two turrets that is around. Voices isn't even thinking about going for a third base as of yet. He's at about 94 supply to Deth's 124, so this is looking more like a TVZ that I've seen.
Yeah, the Terran just kind of trying to push out, and in Turtle Terran versus Zerg, you try and push out, and if it fails, you don't know what the hell to do.
Well, I think that's what Voices is at the moment. He's only at 101 supply now. If you have a look at the income tab, he's at 35 workers to 46. Mules will even that out, but as soon as this gold goes back up, which has just finished the hatchery then, and same with his fourth, he's going to just get further and further behind. As we do get +2 defense and attack upgrades for Deth, we are getting an armory now. I think that's a little bit of a late armory, and an ultra-less cabin. So really, at this point in time, I think it's just waiting for Deth to win the game.
Yeah, Deth's put up 4 bases now. He could probably even go ahead and take Voices' gold, because he hasn't even seen that Deth has an Overlord dropping creep there.
Yeah.
But that'd just be too much of a whole screw you, I want this type thing. Yeah. But as soon as he gets Ultras, it's over. He won't have enough force to deal with them. The Marine Marauder force, pretty sizable, but due to the Ling Bling, it's just a moot point.
Yeah. Look, we got 143 supply, 125. So it was looking a bit meatier, but to deal with the Ultralisks that should be coming in a second, there's just too many Lings here. And here we go. Lings are running by. Wow, my frame rate's losing a little bit here. The Banelings are stuck at the back for Deth. Oh, that's really frustrating. But there's enough Banelings to clean up this entire arm. No, he didn't clean up the entire army, but Voices is down to 88 supply. And we have 28 Lings and 2 Ultras on the way for Deth. He is so mineral starved, it's not funny. But really, right now, the third 4 Voices is going down, but there's Overlord creep, there's also rocks. He's not going to be able to expand anytime soon. In the meantime, he's got, maybe a max of 2,000 minerals left in his main, and he's also mining out as his natural at the same time, which is really frustrating. But, oh my god, Deth cancelled the expansion. That's huge.
If you look at Voices' main, he has no one on his top gas and one on the bottom gas. He's just got such little minerals that he can't even justify having all 4 gas going.
Yeah, 20 Banelings on the way with 5 Ultras at the same time. So
Deth flew in and dropped Contagion on 2 of Voices' buildings. But, yeah...
See, you haven't been around. You have to check out the Psystorm games. That's been happening a lot lately.
Contagion, yeah. the more the game progresses, the more we're going to see that, because at the start it was just like people had so much they were worrying about they didn't want to use more, and now that they've got a hold on all of their macro, they're able to do more things like drop contagion on 2 buildings while they're hammering away an advantage.
Yeah, so 5 ultras still on the way for Deth. The command station is being built. Whoop.
I'm not sure if you caught it, but Voices was flying in a full medevac down the bottom of Deth's base, and Deth sniped it with 4 mutas before it could drop anything.
No, I did not see that, unfortunately. I was looking at the main here of Voices' expansion is now finished. And what do we got? You see, I really think this is just going to be Deth walking over this army, because Voices really hasn't had a chance to get a 3rd base. In the meantime, Deth has had it for 3rd for a while. He's going for a 4th now as well. Oh, he does snipe that queen, which is good for him, but I just don't think it's enough to get him back in the game.
Yeah, as long as Deth gets his army into a good spot, not having those banelings caught behind Lings again, and gets a decent flank going, he's just going to walk over this army. He doesn't want to engage it up on this tower and choke. That'd be pretty much the worst thing he could do.
No, it looks like Deth's going for the run by. No, make up your mind, buddy. There we go. He's flanking from both sides with ultras. The tanks are up on the cliff. They're not going to do much, but just so many ultras, it's not funny. Lots and lots of marauders in the mix, so they're going to take down the ultras relatively fast, but there's just too many of them, and that has to be a GG. Has to be.
Eventually. Ultras just hanging out. Yeah, those just way too many ultras.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Voices had a pretty strong army there. It wasn't meant to be as one-sided as it was. They were pretty much even in army count, but ultras are just so good unless you have the 4 count to deal with them.
Or mass marauders, because they just kill anything.
Or yeah, absolute mass marauders, and then you get like 2 mutants and he dies.
GG! There we go, so we're going to go 2-2. Yeah. Ace match.